Hi everyone, good evening to all of you. Can all of you hear me? How are all of you doing? Arsia, Seher, Shakur, Akshat, Rajiv, Manachan, how are you guys? Manu, Sanobar, Mohammed, Prabha, Rashid, Shiful, how are everyone? Welcome to IMTS. Hope all of you are doing good. I am fine, Rashid. Thank you and welcome to IMTS. I think you are having your first class with me. Manu, I am fine. Thank you. Thanks for asking. How about you? Okay, great. Rashid, can you introduce yourself to the class in the chat box? How was everyone's day today? How was the day for everyone today? For the weekend. Thursday is weekend. I think Friday and Saturday is weekend, right? That's a weekend. Okay. Got it. Akshat, good evening. How are you, boss? So 1 second, let me upload the PPT. I've lost the PPT somewhere on the system. 1 second. Rashid, can you hear me? Can you introduce yourself to the class in the chat box since you are a new candidate and most of us don't know you. So does anyone have any questions of the topics we have covered yesterday or day before yesterday? If anyone has any questions, they can ask me. Or today we were going to learn about distribution decisions, product distribution decisions. I am here in Dubai, sir. Okay, great. What do you do, Rashid? Okay, Renin has joined. Renin, good evening. How are you? Welcome to IMTS. Can you hear me? Good evening. So does anyone have any questions to ask of the topic we have covered yesterday and day before yesterday or any other previous topic? I am an internal auditor working in cooking oil company. Okay, great. Rashid, my name is Vashisht. Okay, I live in India and I will be teaching these MBA subjects, and if you need any help, you are always welcome to ask, or you can also email to coordinator. If you have any other issues like timings issues, book issues, syllabus, or any other management related issues, you can always email to coordinator at imsrc.com. They will assist you. Thank you. Okay, 1 second, let me upload the PPT so that we can start the class. Okay, 1 second. So, does anyone know about the product distribution channels? Does anyone have any idea how, what is the product distribution and what all channels and methods do we use? Anyone? No one. Okay. Distribution is a process of connecting, spelling is wrong, Rashid, C-O-N-N-E-C-T-I-N-G. Connecting suppliers to suppliers to consumers in simple words, okay? Don't write the shortcuts. I prefer the full cuts, not the shortcuts. Okay. So let's start. So the goals of today's class will be to learn different methods of distribution. Can all of you see the PPT and can all of you hear me clearly? Okay. So the goals of will be to learn different methods of distribution, to recognize continuous nature of marketing methods, to obtain information on additional resources, to view distribution as an integral role in a business plan. So this will be the goals, or all these concepts you will learn by the end of the topic. First of all, what do we mean by the term channel? Let's discuss distribution channel later. What do we mean by channel? Anyone? What is a channel in context to management? See, a channel is an institution through which goods and services are marketed. Channels gives we can say the place and time utilities to consumers. In order to provide these and other services, channels charge a margin, right? So I can write it like this. Let's discuss a bit about channels. Oh, who has joined? Sini, good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, now let's read a bit about channels in the background. Okay. A channel is an institution through which goods and services are marketed. Channels give place and time utilities to consumers. Consumers means customers. In order to provide these and other services, channels charge a margin. Margin means they charge some money, right? The longer the channel, the more margins are added. Channels are an integrated part of the marketer's activities and as such are very important. They also give a very vital information flow to the exporter. As seen in the chapter, the degree of control one has over a channel depends on the channel type which is employed. So there are different types of channels. For developing countries, as stated earlier, channels are almost given. This is not always the case, and as exporting becomes more and more necessary, it will not always be the case. In deciding on channel design, the following have to be considered carefully. Now see, the whole process of marketing, right from manufacturing of the product to selling of the product, a dedicated channel is introduced, or a dedicated process, we can say, is introduced through which the whole process of distribution follows, right? Like initially there is a production of the product, then it's packaging, right? Then exporting the product to other countries if required, right? And then making it reach to the retailers. So this is a bit lengthy process. Now, when we deal with any product initially, then the channels are not ready. We have to make the channels, or we have to decide the process through which all the products will be introduced in the market. So there are certain parameters which the owners fix for making a channel. Those are market needs and preferences, the cost of channel service provision, incentives for channel members and methods of payment, the size of the end market to be served, product characteristics required, complexity of product, price, perishability, packaging, middleman characteristics, whether they will push product or be passive, market and channel concentration and organization, appropriate contractual agreements, and last one is degree of control. So is this part clear to everyone? Okay. Now let's come to our PPT. Deciding on a distribution channel. Distribution channel, the way a product reaches the consumer, as I told you, right from the production of the product to the end, that is when the product reaches the customer. There are two types of distribution channels. One is direct distribution of the channel, direct distribution, and other one is indirect. Now, what happens in a direct distribution channel? That is sales. Okay, guys, just excuse me for a second. I will be back in a minute. Okay. Now, in the meantime, I want all of you to find one example on Google of direct distribution channel and indirect distribution. I will be back in a minute. Okay, I am back. An example of a direct marketing channel would be a factory outlet store. Very good. Producers, consumers, direct. Okay. Producer, agent, consumer, indirect, like travel agents. Okay. See what happens in direct distribution. Producer of product sells directly to the customers. There is no middleman. Example. Now example, what are its advantages? The whole process will be less complicated. It will be less expensive because it eliminates the cost of middlemen and it allows for market research. So one example is quoted by Monachin, that the factory outlet store, where the product is directly sold from the place where it is produced and directly to its showroom. There is no middleman. Another example, direct distribution. Let me check an example. For example, an advertisement may ask the prospect to call a free phone number mail in response of the order. That is also a good example. Like selling softwares online, yes, we can say that. Very good. Intellectual property and licensing. Okay, good. What are its disadvantages? producers may not be good marketers. It might be possible because nowadays what happens is that the companies hire professional marketers or some marketing agencies for marketing their products in the market as well as online marketing. So it might be possible that the company or the organization who is producing the product is not good in marketing. Direct sales take time away from production. Producers may not be objective in sales. Allows for market research. Example: person to person. Display booths at events. Yes. Party plan sales. In-home demos. These are the examples of, or other examples could be business trade shows, temp space in shopping malls, direct mailing to the customers, mail order, telemarketing. Telemarketing is a one very good example where the company directly calls to the customers and explains them about their products. Clear everyone? Any doubts? Okay. Next is indirect distribution, utilities, middlemen who sells. Can everyone hear me clearly? Can all of you hear me clearly? Okay, great. So what are its advantages? Number one, middlemen are the sales professionals. Second advantage, useful when zoning prevents home sales. Number three, useful when location of home base is too far from the consumers. Now here they are explaining the advantages of middlemen, under what circumstances or what conditions the role of middleman is important, right? So suppose if the customer is residing or living in some urban areas in the very outer of the city, then where there is no facility of either telephone or internet like that. So in such cases, the middleman goes to the customer's place and then they either sells the products over there or explains the customers about the products. Then we have greater sales volume potential. Middlemen are the professionals. They are the professionals in the field of marketing because they have expertise in that. So they might prove to be a better marketer than the company who is producing the product. So that's why most of the organization these days hire the professional marketers who are also called the middlemen. We have internet marketers and there are various techniques for marketing the product. Frees producer to focus on production. Very good point. Now when all the responsibility of marketing will be given to an independent agency, then the producer can fully focus on the production of the product and they can try to find new ways of reducing the cost or making the quality of the product much better. Clear everyone? Any doubts? Is it clear to everyone? Rashid, Asias, Seher, Akshat, Rajiv, Monachin, clear everyone? Manu, Prabha, Shiful, Renan, Rezi, Sini. Okay, good. If you have any doubts, you are always free to ask me through chat. Okay, let's proceed. Now, next is indirect distribution. What are its disadvantages? Producer removed from the consumers. Now here the producer is not in direct touch with the customers. This process is more expensive than direct distribution. And the last disadvantage is less control over the product. Can all of you give me an example of indirect distribution channel? I asked you to Google it out, one example of both direct and indirect selling. Give me one example, everyone. Everyone, Rashid says agencies. Rashid, could you please elaborate or brief? I'm not getting you. Like traveling agency, okay. HP Computer through their agent, okay. Through social network, okay. Any other point? What about others? Sanobar, Asia. Now, in indirect distribution, we have more than one middleman between the manufacturer and the customer. Therefore, that is why there is no contact between the producer and the customers. Can any one of you tell me the name of those middlemen? There is two very common names or terminologies. Tajima embroidery machine, their agent. Okay. How many of you have heard the name or term retailer and wholesaler? How many of you have heard these terms? Retailer, wholesalers? Yes. They are what? They are the middlemen. And the way they sell the product is an example of indirect selling. So there are actually three, let me write it down something. Okay, let me come to the whiteboard. They are not the representative, they are the middlemen. They have their own commissions and benefits. Representative is someone who takes the salary and works for any organization. Right. Okay, now let me change everything with 3 different colors. 1 second. Can all of you see the thing I have written on the whiteboard? Okay. Now read the first point. Now in the first point we have only one middleman between the manufacturer and the consumer, right? That is the retailer. We have only one middleman here. That is the retailer. Now see what they have written. In this channel, the manufacturer sells goods to consumer through retailers. This channel of distribution thus has one middleman, that is the retailer. For now, the best examples are these TVs, refrigerators, scooters, washing machines, cars, and industrial machinery and equipment are generally sold through this channel. When large-scale retailers are available, such as departmental stores and super bazaar, the manufacturer finds it convenient to use this channel of distribution. Now, here what is happening? The manufacturer is hiring the retailer, all these big bazaars or electronic shops, right, which are there in the malls. They are behaving as a middleman over there, or the retailer over there. Clear? So this is one example of one good example. Second point, when we have two middlemen, one is the wholesaler and second is the retailer. So we have two, one is wholesaler and other one is, can everyone see the second example? Okay. Now here what happens, this channel consists of two types of middlemen. One is the wholesaler and the other one is the retailer. Now all these 3 points are of indirect selling, indirect channel, indirect distribution channel. Consumer products of daily use, for example soaps, cosmetic, detergent, etc. are generally sold through this channel. Okay. For example, Hindustan Lever Limited. This is a very renowned company which sells cosmetics and soaps, detergent, etc. Sells its products through wholesalers and retailers. Small scale producers also find this channel convenient for the distribution of products enjoying widely scattered demand. Now see, take the example of soaps and detergents. You can find soaps and detergents in all the lanes or in any small area shop or in any city, right? In all, both these products are available in even small shops. Now these small shops buys these products from the retailers, sorry, from the wholesalers, which is located in their city only. Why? Because these retailers does not have enough fund with them to buy at a large scale directly from the manufacturer, because there is a condition which the manufacturer imposes for making any individual as the wholesaler, that they have to buy a certain quantity of their product, right? And then this wholesaler distributes it to small retailers and makes some commission in that. So this is how this whole process works. Clear, everyone? Can all of you give me any other example apart from these for this second process, where the manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and consumer? Any other example which is coming in your mind? Anyone? What about the selling of these grains like rice, wheat, these all the pulses which comes? They come under which category? 1, 2, or 3? Or the selling of fruits? What about selling of fruits? Monachan says 1. Yes. Retailer, no, not 1. It is 2. Selling of fruits comes under this category 2. I will tell you why. See, when the fruits are grown in the, what is that place called? I don't remember. When the farmers produce the fruits, then there is a in Asia we call it mandi. How many of you are familiar with this name? Mandi, a whole very big market where trucks and trucks of fruits comes from these farmers, because the farmers cannot directly sell it to the consumers, right? Now through this place, all the small retailers buys all the cartons of fruits, right? And then they sell it to the customers. So selling of fruits comes under this category. Clear, everyone? In the same way, we have vegetables as well. Vegetables also follows this process, except the potato and tomato, because recently the Indian government has removed due to the increase in the price of potatoes and tomatoes. They have removed the process of these wholesalers and retailers, because they want the farmers directly to sell it to the consumers, so that the price of these common commodities is less. So they have made changes in the law that the two vegetables, that is potato and I think onion and tomato and potato, they have removed it from the list, and so the farmers can directly sell it in the market. Okay, now last channel, which is the longest one. Now here we have 3 middlemen. One is manufacturer agent, second one is the wholesaler, third one is the retailer, and then it reaches to the consumer. Before that there is one more thing, manufacturer. They have forgot to write. Let me write. Here we have manufacturer or producer. So this comes first, and then we have manufacturing agent. So here we have 3 middlemen. One is agent, second one is the wholesaler, and third one is the retailer. So definitely the cost of goods who follows this channels will be very high, because we have 3 middlemen here. This is the longest channel of distribution. The manufacturer sells his entire output to a sole selling agent, who in turn appoints the wholesalers. Wholesalers sell to retailers, who in turn sell to ultimate consumers. Now here the manufacturer, whatever quantity of products he produces, he sells it to some manufacturing agent, and then it is the responsibility of the agent how he sells it to the wholesalers. Now what all commodities comes under this channel? We have the clothes, we have the food grains, we have sugar, edible oil, paper, etc. They comes under such channel. Indirect channels relieve the manufacturer from the problems of distribution. Now, what is the advantage of indirect distribution channel? Here the producer has no tension of selling their product or distributing their products in the market. It is they give it to some middleman, and then it is the tension of the middleman how he sells those products in the market, and then they sell it to retailers or they sell it directly to consumers. So this is the biggest advantage of indirect method. So which one is better, direct or indirect distribution of channel? Yes, everyone. Which channel is better according to you? Direct or indirect? From the manufacturer point of view. I'm saying from the manufacturer point of view. That's why I added at the end. Both have their own advantages, yes, but manufacturer point of view, indirect. Manu, not direct. Yes, indirect. Because whatever quantity they produces, they can directly sell it to the wholesalers, and then it is their tension how they accommodate the product in the market. And from consumer, but indirect method is a bit the products will be a bit costly as compared to direct, because in direct method there is less middlemen. Yes, if you have a large business, indirect, yes. And from customer's point of view, direct method is better, because the less the number of the middlemen, the cheaper the product will be. But low production company produces the number of products or the number of units as per the market demand. Okay, let's come back to our PPT. Now these are some of the examples: sales representatives, wholesalers, distributors, jobbers, wholesale trade shows, wholesale to retailers, consignment, or the mail order. So is it clear to everyone the difference between direct and indirect distribution? If anyone has any doubts, they can ask me. Okay. Now they have shown it by means of a diagram. These are the middlemen, wholesalers, distributors, jobbers. Manufacturer roles or sales representative. What are their roles? They move the merchandise, they call on the retailers, they handle marketing within a territory, which means within a particular region, and for that they get commission on orders. Now what happens in wholesale trade shows? Build long-lasting relationships. Good packaging and nice display are critical. Quality business cards, brochures, and a free sales literature and predetermined pricing structure will help in attractive retail accounts. Now, what happens? The wholesaler buys the product in large volume from the manufacturer, right? And then they have their fixed set of pricing for the products. They are their brochures, right, and pricing of and all the packing of the product is done by them, and they include the cost of all these in that, and then they sell it to the retailers, or they sell it directly to the customers. So all the packaging role comes under wholesalers. Clear, everyone? Okay. 1 second, let me check here. One more class after this. Do you have a class after this class, everyone? So that I can end the class on time, or otherwise I can teach you more. Then, okay, fine. Now see, here they have shown the pictures. Here this is the godown of some wholesaler who had bought the product from the manufacturer, and then all the packing of the product is done by them, and now the products are ready to be sold to the retailers, right? Producers can make contact, must know trade practices, need written agreements. So the written agreement is signed between the producer and the wholesaler. Cannot undercut retail price. Now there is some fixed retail price as well, which is set by the retailer. So the wholesalers cannot sell those products to the retailers below that price, no matter what the situation is, market situation is. Now next thing is consignment. Contracting with retailers to display and sell product. Contracting with retailers to display and okay. Can you give me an example of a consignment? Can any one of you give me an example? One example is coming in my mind. First, let's see if any one of you tells, then I will explain. Contracting with retailers to display and sell product. Consignment is a job, yes. Can any one of you give me an example? Anyone? No one. How many of you fancy lights traveling from shipper to buyer? No. How many of you have heard this term, trade fair, electronic trade fair, or other trade fair? How many of you have heard this term? No one. See, at times, what the retailers do is they products, promotion of the products. Trade fair is a place where many companies display their product and explains the qualities of their product, right, to the consumers. At a small scale, we have these what do we call them? Salespeople, salesman or salesgirl, who comes to your door and displays their product and tells the specifications and speciality and functioning of their product, right? That is called a consignment job, where they will where the retailers hire agencies or individuals for displaying their product to the in the market or to the consumers. What are its advantages? Exposure without overhead expenses of utility and space. It is very costly process. Disadvantages: money tied up in inventory with possibility of damage. There is a possibility that the product might get damaged. Merchandise may not be displayed to advantage. It might be possible that that the product is not displayed fully by the agency or that person. Merchandise may not be aggressively marketed. It might be possible that the product is not fully marketed. So I think we are finished with the time. Let's stop it over here today on slide 15. On Monday, I think I have the next class with you on Monday. So on Monday I will continue with the same topic and try to finish this topic first before moving to the next topic. There are a few slides left which I will complete on Monday. Any questions for me? Anyone has? Does anyone have any questions to ask? Okay, so thank you everyone. Good night and enjoy your weekend. See you on Monday. Bye bye. Take care.